Bhattavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we welcome everyone to our ongoing study of the Sri Isopanisad at the level of Bhakti Shastri. We were on mantra number 6. Right? Everybody remember? Mantra 6?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Yastu sarvani bhutani.
Yastu sarvani
Bhutani.
Atmani manupashyati.
Atmani manupashyati.
Sarva bhutishu chatmanam. Atuna vidyagupsate. Translation: He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities and as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. So we heard this is a description of the Mahabhagavat devotee, very advanced devotee, topmost devotee, Mahabhagavat. So in the purport, Prabhupada begins describing different levels of devotees. And we heard about Kanishta devotee, right? We'll ask, who would like to tell us about Kanishta devotee? What's the nature of the Kanishta devotee? Some Mataji can tell us.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Kanishta devotee, he looks that Lord is in the temple only.
Okay.
And he always fight with others, and he never have faith on one thing, always like and too much materialistic.
Oh. But he likes the deity, huh?
Yes.
There has a lot of attachment to the deity. They like very much the deity.
Yes.
So that in some ways he's a devotee, right?
Yes.
But he's got limited understanding.
Yes, Maharaj.
Weak faith, maybe, and not much knowledge also. What about the Madhyam devotee then?
Madhyam Adhikari, he is friendly with the all types of persons, and he sees everywhere as a Lord, and he has a good faith on like strong faith.
No,
And
Madhyam
yes.
devotee, Madhyam, intermediate. Is not the highest devotee. So he won't see everybody equally.
He makes friends, Maharaj. He
With
see everyone.
Who does he make friends with?
Who is in the path of devotion.
Okay, he makes friends with the devotees.
Yes.
Yes. And
who he like and for the non, like who are like having faith but not understanding, like innocent people, he tried to tell them about Lord.
Okay.
And who are not believers, non-devotees, atheistic people, he keep distance with them, like avoid them.
That's right. Yes. He makes a distinction, right? He distinguishes between the innocent and the atheist.
Yes.
Why does he avoid the atheist?
Because they don't have faith on Lord and they hate it.
So shouldn't he go and try to preach to them?
No, it's an offense who don't have faith.
We have to create faith.
But some people, they don't understand, they don't want to believe only.
Yeah, right. If we go and try to preach to them, they'll become more offensive. They'll
Yes.
simply make more offenses. They'll criticize more. They'll blaspheme more. So that's not good. So we just neglect them, we avoid them, keep away from them, as you said, right? So this is a Madhyama devotee,
Yes.
right? What about the deity? How does he see the deity?
Deity, they see like Lord is everywhere.
No, Madhyam devotee. Madhyam. Yeah. Does he worship the deity?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he will.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everybody.
he has love and devotion for the deity, right? He makes friends with the devotees. He gives mercy to who?
To innocent people.
To the innocent people, right? And he neglects, or he will avoid the blasphemers, or
Yes.
those who
Not
are
able.
openly atheistic. So if this is a Madhyama devotee, he makes distinction. So we're going to go on now. We'll hear about the Uttama devotee, the topmost devotee. Above, right? Who would like to read for us? Maybe we could hear from Achyuta Chaitan, Achyuta, who is it? Achyuta Giridhar?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhu, could you read?
Purport.
Yeah, above the Madhyamadikari, we already started the purport.
I just joined, Prabhu. Above the Madhyam Adhikari is the Uttama Adhikari, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between an atheist and the theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord. Although they are encaged in different bodies on account of the different qualities of their activities in their previous lives, he sees that the Brahmana party particle of the Supreme Lord has not misused his little independence given him by the Lord, and that the dog particle has misused his independence and is therefore being punished by the laws of nature by being encaged in the form of a dog. Not considering the respective actions of the Brahmana and the dog, the Uttama Adhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted, but is attracted by the spiritual spark within them.
Very good. So Prabhu, can you tell me, how can we do good for a dog?
Because the dog, how we can do, because dog is also has Atma, and he is also means the he is also like as a part, and he is also as a part and parcel of the Lord.
So what
So
are we
dog,
going to do? What can we do to help him?
yeah, like dog we can Like we can give him prasadam.
Okay. Anything else? Dogs,
I
they may not eat prasadam. Sometimes they eat prasadam, sometimes
yeah,
not.
yeah. But Maharaj, I have heard that devotees should not have a pet as a dog in the house.
Yeah, dogs are not meant to be in the house. They keep them outside the house. We can be
Yeah,
we
but
give mercy to dog. We can give mercy to dogs. So
yeah, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the mercy
right.
to the dog in the Leela.
So we can
Yeah.
give them prasadam. We can also let them hear the holy name.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
The chanting of the holy name is beneficial to the dogs also. What about the Brahmana? How can we do good for the Brahmana? The Uttamadhikari.
Brahmana means the Brahmana should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Like Pathan means they have to preach to the about the Lord.
So what about this Uttama Adhikari? He sees everybody
Equal. Yeah.
right? So is he going to preach?
Yeah, Maharaj, I have heard that Uttamadhikari has to come down to the Madhyamadhikari, then only he can preach. Because then only he can differentiate. Otherwise, he is at such a level that he sees everyone on the same level.
Right. Yeah, he thinks everybody already Krishna conscious, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't preach. The topmost devotees, what do? They just do the bhajan. They just chant Hare Krishna, they do their own worship. They don't
Yes.
preach usually. On the
Yeah.
topmost level, they're not going to preach much because they see everybody already Krishna conscious. Okay, very good. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj.
We'll go ahead. We would like to read. Let's see who's next. We've got some more people. Sushanta Samau. Sushanta Samau. Yeah? Is he here?
Yes, Maharaj. He is here, Maharaj.
Okay, you can read for us, please. Those who imitate.
Sushant Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Sushant Prabhu. Pushpanjali Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sushant Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Unmute yourself and speak, Prabhuji. Pushpanjali Mataji, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? Hare Krishna Mataji.
She just entered, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's go ahead. Ajita Madhusudan Prabhu. Ajita? No.
Dandvat Pranam Maharaj.
Yeah, can you read for us, please, Prabhu? Those who imitate.
Hare Krishna. Those who imitate an Uttama Adhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform, are actually false philanthropists. The concept of universal brotherhood must be learned from an Uttama Adhikari and not from a foolish person who does not properly understand the individual soul or the Supreme Lord's super soul expansion who dwells everywhere. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, so the Uttama Adhikari, sometimes people will imitate, right, like that, you know, they will pretend they're on the highest level. So what are they going to do? Thinking to pretend that, thinking they're on the highest level, they'll try to make a show of what? How do they behave?
Maharaj, please repeat. There was some disconnection in the system. Please repeat your.
Okay, in what way is the Uttama Adhikari going to imitate? In which way is this person imitating that he's Uttama Adhikari? How does he behave? Can you tell us in your own words?
Uttamadhikari, he is at a high level in
But
devotional service.
but this person is not Uttama Adhikari, but he's pretending he's Uttama Adhikari.
So the person who is doing like this, basically, he may not be in a devotional service at all, or he may not be even believing in Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, but he try to imitate the things, he want to make the show of, and he try to convince all the people with his own theories without referring to the Vedic Sastric injections.
Right? Yeah. And they'll speak about this, you know, the oneness, that everything, we're all one, and we should come together, and we're all one, and the idea, this sense of oneness, that let's all become united together in the oneness of the Supreme. But they have no real knowledge. They were never trained, Prabhupada talks, that they have to have, they must have learned from somebody who is on that platform. They cannot just simply speak about the oneness. So this idea, Prabhupada speaks here about the universal brotherhood. You know, we're all one, it's all one, everything's one. But they have no real spiritual understanding. Okay, could you read the next paragraph also, please, Prabhu?
Ranvat Pranam Prabhu. Maharaj, it is clearly mentioned in this sixth mantra that one should observe or systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharyas, the perfected teachers. Anupashyati is the exact Sanskrit word used in this connection. Anu means to follow, and pashyati means to observe. Thus, the word anupashyati means that one should
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj, I think he is disconnected, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. I think there's some problem. Okay, I'll start from. Thus, the word anupashyanti means that one should not see things as he does with the naked eye, but should follow the previous acharyas. Due to material defects, the naked eye cannot see anything properly. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from superior source, and the highest source is the wisdom, Vedic wisdom, which is spoken by the Lord himself. Vedic truths are coming in disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narad to Vyasa, and from Vyasa to his many disciples. Formerly, there was no need to record the messages of the Vedas, because people in earlier ages were more intelligent and had sharper memories. They could follow the instructions simply by hearing once from the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh, Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is describing to us the past, how people had very good memories, very sharp memory, they could remember everything. They knew so many verses, so many slokas, they'd read so many, or they'd heard so many. So, of course, nowadays, we have poor memories, so there's need to record the message. Of course, Srila Vyasadeva did that. Srila Vyasadeva, he had everything written down because he knew Kali Yuga's coming, and the Kali Yuga people have poor memories. So for their benefit, he had everything written down. Of course, that time they were writing on palm, but still he had it written down, and that was to our a great benefit that we could receive that knowledge, the writings of people like Vyasadeva. So Prabhupada talks about this important thing, that this anupashyati, we have to see, we have to follow. One should see things as he does. One should not see things as he does with the eye, but we should see through the acharyas, follow the acharyas. In Mahabharata, there's one verse which Prabhupada quotes. It's also quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahajano yena gata sapanta, follow in the footsteps, to follow. Mahajano yena gata, follow the Mahajans, sapanta, follow in the footsteps of the So here also the same point is made, anupashyati. We have to follow the acharyas. We have to, and Prabhupada said, it's not just seeing with the eye. The naked eye cannot see properly. But if we hear, so the important thing, it's not just the eyes, but it's the hearing. Right? When we go to the Holy Dham, when people come to the Holy Dham, we often tell them, you don't come here just for the eye exercise. Come here to hear. It's for the ears. Just like we're hearing this Isopanisad. The hearing process is what is important. So we have to hear. And we have to hear through the proper channel. So Prabhupada mentions about the cyclic succession. That we want to understand the Vedas, we have to hear it explained from Brahma to Narada to Vyas, and from Vyas to Madhvacharya, Madhavendra Puri, Ishvara Puri, Lord Chaitanya, like that. So there's a line. We have to hear things in the proper manner. All right. So we'll have somebody else read now. What about Prasanna Chitta Gopinath? Yes, Prabhu. Prasanna Chitta Gopinath, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, can you read for us, Prabhu? At present, there are many.
At present, there are many commentaries on the revealed scriptures, but most of them are not in the line of disciplic succession coming from Srila Vyasadeva, who originally compiled the Vedic wisdom. The final most perfect and sublime work by Srila Vyasadeva is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. There is also the Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by the Lord himself and recorded by Vyasadeva. There are the most important revealed scripture, and any commentary that contradicts the principle of the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam is unauthorized. There is complete agreement among the Upanishad, Vedanta Sutra, Veda, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and no one should try to reach any conclusion about the Vedas without receiving instructions from members of Vyasadeva disciple successor who believe in the personality of Godhead and his diverse energies as they are explained in Sri Upanishad. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So Prabhupada is explaining the importance of evidence,
Yes.
right? Remember
Right.
we studied in the introduction, different kinds of evidence are there, right?
Right.
We get evidence. What's other sources of evidence?
Our scripture.
Yes. But what are some of the imperfect sources? Not everybody goes to...
Commentary of other commentary other than parampara.
Okay. But some people simply depend on their own senses. We say pratyaksha, right? Use the senses.
Right.
They want to understand everything by the senses.
Yes.
So what's the problem with the senses?
Because senses is imperfect,
Right.
Maharaj.
And then we try speculation, use the mind to understand, hypothesis, right?
Yes. Yeah, right.
How is that? What's the problem with that?
As it is imperfect, so the imperfect cannot come the perfect.
Okay. We may come up with a theory in our mind, then someone else will come up with another theory and defeat it. And then
Yes.
someone else will defeat that. So you'll never get any real conclusion simply depending on our own mind.
Yes, Maharaj.
So we need to hear from the scriptures, right? So
From the source. Right source.
there's different kinds of scriptures, right? What are some of the different divisions of the scriptures? Right? The four Vedas, what part of the scripture, what kind of scriptures are the Vedas, the four Vedas? They're called?
Shruti.
Yeah, Shruti, right.
Shruti.
Shruti means what?
From disciple succession to hear from the right source.
Shruti means the hearing process, right? Hearing.
Yes. Yes.
And what about the Puranas, Mahabharata? Where are they from?
That is by Vyasadeva, written by Vyasadeva.
You know,
Syllabus.
is it Shruti?
It is
Yes, it is.
Smriti Maharaj.
Smriti, right. Smriti. Smriti means what?
Remembering.
Remembering, yes. Smriti is the remembering process, right. So the four Vedas, the original four Vedas, that's a hearing process. And the Smriti is a remembering process. And you've got, in the Smriti, you've got the Puranas, like Srimad Bhagavatam, and you've got also Mahabharata, these kind of books. What about Vedanta Sutra? What is the Vedanta Sutra? The Vedanta Sutra, that is logic, that is Nyaya.
Yeah.
Right? So that is logic. It's not, we don't call it Smriti or Shruti, it's Nyaya. Srila Vyasadeva wrote Vedanta Sutra based on logic. But we can understand the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva's commentary on it. Right? What's Vyasadeva's commentary on the Vedanta Sutra called? The Vedanta Sutra commentary by Srila Vyasadeva is called?
Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana is Vyasadev's own commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. The other acharyas, they have their own commentaries also on Vedanta Sutra. Like Shankaracharya, he has his famous Shariraka Bhashya, which is his commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And we have also Baladev Vidyabhusan's commentary, the Govinda Bhashya, which is his commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And Bhagavad Gita is from Mahabharata, right? So Bhagavad Gita is also from Srila Vyasadeva. So you have the Upanishad, where the Upanishads are Shruti or Smriti.
Smriti Maharaj.
Ah,
Smriti.
Upanishads?
Shruti Maharaj.
Shruti.
Shruti, yes. Shruti, the Upanishads are in the Vedas. They're in the original Vedas. So they're Shruti. So you quote Upanishads and you're quoting Shruti evidence. But Prabhupada making the point that you can't make any conclusion which is different from what's in the scriptures. Whatever you try to present, it has to be supported with the evidence of the scripture. Shastra Praman, right? You have to have the evidence of the scriptures, and then you can present some conclusion, you can make some point. And Prabhupada also makes the point that all the Vaishnava Acharyas, they believe in the personality of Godhead and his diverse energies. Now Shankaracharya, he doesn't say like that. The Mayavadis, they won't say like that. But the Vaishnava Acharyas, they will say. They all believe that there's a Supreme Lord and his energies. And the living entities are the energy of the Lord, the servants. Okay? So this is a Vaishnava commentary. We'll go ahead. We'll need somebody else to read for us. We have Premanjana Gopesha. Prema Maya Gopesh.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
According to the Bhagavad Gita 18.54, only one who is already on the liberated platform, Brahma Bhuta, can become an Uttama Adhikari devotee and see everything being as his own brother. This vision cannot be had by politicians who are always after some material gain. One who imitates the symptoms of an Uttama Adhikari may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame or material reward, but he does not serve the spirit soul. Such an imitator can have no information of the spiritual world. The Uttama Adhikari sees the spirit soul within the material body and serves him as spirit. Thus, the material aspect is automatically served. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So one is Prabhupada's quoting Bhagavad Gita 1854, right? One is already, only one who's on the liberated platform can become an Uttama Adhikari platform. Can become Uttama Adhikari. So what does this mean, liberated platform? How is it described there in the Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita, it is like Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Samasarveshu mat bhakti lapate param.
Can you explain it to me? I can't understand the sloka. Can you explain the words?
So, the Uttama Adhikari devotee actually sees everything on, at the Brahma as well as at the spiritual level,
Oh, he's not on the Uttamaadhikari platform yet. He's just coming to the liberated platform. From the liberated platform, then he has to go on to become Uttamaadhikari. We just want to know, first of all, about the liberated platform.
He's in the transcendental situation, like he's on the transcendental, he's transcendentally situated.
What
And
does that mean? What does that mean, transcendental situation?
like he realizes means he realizes Supreme Brahman, and he's in a joyful position.
I don't know that he's realized the Supreme Brahman. That's a higher stage. He's only come to the Brahm Bhuta platform. He's not yet realized the Supreme Brahman. What does he realize?
Seeing every living being as his own brother. So, as his.
Okay. Why does he see that?
Or some material,
Why does he see every living being as his brother?
Because he understands that he is also the same part and parcel of the Supreme Lord whom he himself belongs to. So he can see within him the spirit soul and the material body also.
Right. He's identified that he's not the body, right? That
Yes.
He's Brahman. And that all the other living entities are also parts of the Brahman.
Yes, Maharaj.
This is the Brahma Bhuta platform, Brahma Bhuta, knowing that we're Brahman, we're part of the Brahman. So he sees all the living entities, they're also Brahman, he knows he's also Brahman. So he's joyful, he's happy about it, yeah, detached from the body. So that's the beginning, that's the liberation, liberated from the bodily concept of life. So then he can go on to think about advancing more. And maybe he can go on to become an Uttamaadhikari devotee. Okay, and then this Prabhupada talks about politicians.
Yes.
Of course, in India, it's very convenient for a politician to also present himself as being some kind of a religious person or spiritual person. People will have a lot of respect for him. But Prabhupada explains that to actually be on that level of the Uttamaadhikari, they have to be really detached from the body. If they're still in the bodily conception of life, then they cannot be Uttamaadhikari. Uttamaadhikari does not identify with the body. So he may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame, material rewards. Yeah, they do welfare work. It's all on the bodily platform. They don't serve the soul. But how can we do service for the soul?
By actually making him, by directing him to Krishna, or the authorized representative of Krishna.
Yes, the soul wants to connect to Krishna. How can it connect to Krishna? What do you have? What is this? What's the best thing we can give for the soul?
So Harinam, that is.
Yes, what?
Holy name.
The holy name, yeah. Let them, the soul, awaken the soul by chanting of the holy name. That awakens the spiritual soul, the spirit soul. We can connect to Krishna through the chanting of the holy name. So that's very important. The chanting of the holy name, spiritual activities like the glory, describing the glories of the Lord and the qualities of the Lord, and praising the devotees who serve the Lord, This is all very good way to connect the soul to the Supreme Soul. The Uttama Adhikari sees the spirit soul within the material body and serves him as spirit. So we have to understand how to actually serve as spirit. People in the bodily concept of life, they have no understanding. But Prabhupada then says, if you serve if we serve the soul, if we serve the spirit within the body, then the material body is automatically served. How would that be? How can we, by serving the soul, how are we serving the material body?
Because if the soul is because by connecting to Krishna, it is like, watering the root of the tree. If you're watering the root, automatically all parts of the tree gets flourished.
Yeah.
Water separately for any other part. Similarly, if we feed the soul and take chant holy name of Krishna, be in Krishna consciousness, automatically all our other things get satisfied through Krishna.
Okay. Yes, very good. Yes, I think so. We see actually people come to Krishna consciousness and they may have so many material desires in the beginning, but by chanting Hare Krishna and by serving Krishna, then they feel peaceful, satisfied. And there are many examples. People just come and do service. In the beginning, they come with so many motives, but simply by serving Krishna, all their material desires are forgotten, and they become happy in Krishna consciousness. All right, let's go ahead. Text number 7, mantra 7. You can repeat. Yasmin sarvani bhutani.
Yasmin
Sarvani Bhutani
Atmani bhutvajanataha. Tatrako mohakha shoka. Ekadvam manupashyata. Translation: one who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? So what kind of devotee is this? What level is he on? Anybody?
Uttamadhikari.
What about Madhyam?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam at your divine lotus feet. Am I allowed to answer?
Yeah.
I assume this is Madhyam Adhikari. He has the knowledge, but he doesn't have any implementation.
It's what? Say again.
He has the knowledge, but doesn't have the implementation of that knowledge.
He's a Madhyam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be both Madhyam and it could also be Uttama. Both. He may be a Uttama, he may be a Madhyam. But Kanista, he won't be able to see like that. He doesn't see all living entities equally, quality one with the Lord. So the Kanista's out because he only sees the deity. But the Madhyam, he sees like that. He sees like that. He may ignore the atheists, but he knows they're spirit souls.
Yeah.
Right?
Like here, that's both famous loka that will use a Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hostini, Sunipeko Sapakete, Pandita Sonodashinaha.
Yeah, see every living entity, right? Pandit, he's with an equal vision. Elephant, the cow, the dog, and the dog eater. Learned, gentle Brahman. A similar verse. Okay. So we're hearing about more. Let's see who can read for us. Maybe Maraji's want to read a little. Maraji, Bindiya. Bindiya Maraji here.
Yes, Maharaj.
You can read for us, please, purport. Beginning purport.
Except for the Madhyama Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari discussed above, no one can correctly see the spiritual position of a living being. The living entities are qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of a fire are qualitatively one with the fire. Yet sparks are not fire as far as quantity is concerned. For the quantity of heat and light present in the sparks is not equal to that in fire. The Mahabhagavata, the great devotee, sees oneness in the sense that he sees everything as the energy of the Supreme Lord, since there is no difference between the energy and the energetic. There is the sense of oneness. Although from the analytical point of view, heat and light are different from fire, there is no meaning to the word fire without heat and light. In synthesis, therefore, heat, light, and fire are the same. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Maharaj.
Yes, so the Lord, how is the relationship between the Lord and the living entities described here? Bindiya Mataji?
Yes, Maharaj. It is related like spark of fire.
Right. Yeah, the Lord is like the fire and we're like the tiny sparks, right?
Yes,
So
Maharaj.
we have the oneness, the sense of oneness in quality, but different in quantity. The spark
Yes.
is not equal to the fire. So Prabhupada says, Mahabhagavat, great devotee, sees oneness. So this the Mahabhagavat, that's the Uttama Adhikari. And he sees everywhere the energy of the Supreme. So there's the energy of the Lord, and there's the source of the energy, the energetic. And Prabhupada said, this is the same thing. There's just sense of oneness there. There's no difference between the energy and the energetic, because the energy comes from the energetic. So they're the same in a sense. He says, analytically there's some difference, but in the general sense, there's no difference. So he gives the same example about the fire, that heat and light are there in the fire. The heat and light are not separate from the fire. So understanding the Lord and the living entities, seeing the living entities in relationship to the Lord. Okay, we'll go ahead. We can have another lady read for us here. Let's see. Manaji, Subangi Harini Mataji. Oh, Subhamaya Harini.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, can you read Manaji?
In this mantra, the words Ekatvam Anupashyataha indicate that one should see the unity of all living entities from the viewpoint of the revealed scriptures. The individual sparks of the Supreme Whole, the Lord, possess almost 80% of the non-qualities of the whole, but they are not quantitatively equal to the Supreme Lord. These qualities are present in minute quantity, for the living entity is but a minute part and parcel of the supreme whole. To use another example, the quantity of salt present in a drop is never comparable to the quantity of salt present in the complete ocean. But the salt present in the drop is qualitatively equal in chemical composition to all the salt present in the ocean. If the individual living being were equal to the Supreme Lord, both qualitatively and quantitatively, there would be no question of his being under the influence of the material energy. In the previous mantras, it has already been discussed that no living being, not even the powerful demigods, can surpass the Supreme Being in any respect. Therefore, Ekatvam does not mean that a living being is equal in all respects to the Supreme Lord. It does, however, indicate that in a broader sense, there is one interest. Just as in a family, the interest of all members is one, or in a nation, the national interest is one, although there are many different individual citizens. Since the living entities are all members of the same supreme family, their interest and that of the supreme being are not different. Every living being is the son of the supreme being. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.5, all living creatures throughout the universe, including birds, reptiles, ants, aquatics, trees, and so on, are emanations of the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all of them belong to the family of the Supreme Being. There is no clash of interest. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice to hear this, how there's oneness within the world, right? Oneness in the sense, how is there the oneness, Maharaji?
They are all from qualitatively, it is same with the Supreme Lord.
Right, that we have the qualities, right? And did you notice Prabhupada, he mentioned about this, he talks about nearly 80%, right?
Yes.
Do you know where that came from? At the beginning of where you were reading, the individual spark.
The individual sparks of the Supreme Whole possess almost 80% of the known qualities of the whole.
So how is it, where does he get this nearly 80% from? Have you studied this in Nectar of Devotion?
Not remembering marriage.
No, and in the Nectar of Devotion, they list 60. Does somebody know? Anybody know? Anybody open? Anybody knows where this 80% comes from?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Maharaj, as Krishna has 64 qualities, from that we have 50. That is 80%.
Okay, 50 out of 64 is about 78%, nearly 80%.
Yeah.
Right, yes. And how many does Brahma have?
Brahma 60.
60?
50 Maharaj. 50 Maharaj. 50,
Brahma
50.
also 50, right? Brahma's a jiva, right? He's a living entity, he's a jiva. And what about Shiva?
55 Maharaj.
And Vishnu?
60.
60.
Okay. So there are 4 qualities unique to Krishna. Right? What are the 4 qualities?
All attractive.
Prem Madhurya, Leela Madhurya.
Venu Madhurya. Venu Madhurya.
Venu Madhurya.
Venu Madhurya.
Venu Leela.
Leela Madhurya.
Rupa Madhurya.
Rupa Madhurya.
Madhurya.
Huh?
Leela Maharaj.
Lila Madhurya, huh? Lila Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, and
Prema Madhurya.
Prema Madhurya. Okay, so Laptaris devotees. All right, so they're special. So the living entity, that's, but Prabhupada mentioned, he said actually, these qualities are present in minute quantity for the living entity. Because we're a minute part and parcel. We're part and parcel, but we're very small, right? They said the spark and the fire. And then Prabhupada is giving an example about the salt and the drop of water and the ocean. So there's a big difference in quantity, but the same in quality. Almost the same quality. Certain qualities, of course, certain qualities we don't have. Anyway, nearly 80%. All right? So that's the difference. Okay, so we'll go ahead. The spiritual entities. Let's have a man read now. Dina Pavani.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Dina Pavan, yes, Prabhu, please.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, the spiritual entities are meant for enjoyment as stated in Vedanta Sutra 1.1.12. Anandamayo Vyasat. By nature and constitution, every living being, including the Supreme Lord and each of his part and parcels, is meant for eternal enjoyment. The living beings who are encaged in the material tangible are constantly seeking enjoyment, but they are seeking it on the wrong platform. Apart from the material platform is the spiritual platform where the Supreme Being enjoys himself with his innumerable associates. On that platform, there is no trace of material qualities, and therefore that platform is called Nirguna. On the Nirguna platform, there is never a clash over the object of enjoyment. Here in material world, there is always a clash between different individuals, because here the proper center of enjoyment is missed. The real center of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, who is the center of sublime and spiritual rasa dance. We are all meant to join him and enjoy life with one transcendental interest and without a clash. That is the highest platform of spiritual interest. And as soon as one realizes this perfect form of oneness, there is no question of illusion, moha, or lamentation, shoka. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, all right, so Prabhupada's talking about Nirguna. On this platform, there's no trace of material qualities. So does that mean the Lord doesn't have any quality? Prabhu?
Yeah, Maharaj, the Lord has the qualities, but actually it is on the transcendental platform. The object of the enjoyment is not on the material platform. That is what my understanding is, Maharaj.
Okay. So what are some of the Lord's qualities then?
So Lord has 64 qualities, like, and among them is like, he's all attractive, and he's Leela Purushottam. Like he's smallest of smallest, biggest of biggest. He's one of the Puranas, the oldest person.
Okay, yeah, good. And we're Prabhupada, he talks about how the Lord is, he likes to enjoy. He quotes this Anandamaya Vyasat.
Yeah.
That the nature of every living entity is for enjoyment. So we're also meant for enjoyment. The Lord also wants to enjoy. How does the Lord enjoy? When the Lord wants to enjoy, what does he do for his enjoyment? Well, actually, everything is for his enjoyment. So how does he enjoy?
He go and associate with his devotees, and their activities, what is they are doing it, the Lord is enjoying that.
What are they doing? What are their activities? Can you tell us?
Their activities, they don't see as a Lord, as a Supreme Lord. As a Supreme Lord, not as the meaning of like higher authority. They see it, Lord is one of them, or their intimate relation with them. So in that intimate relationship, they behave with Lord. Like there are many examples, which is like all the Krishna's friend and Krishna Lila. They are Krishna was with them and enjoying their association, like Madhumangal here, Sudama, and they're playing with Lord. They're offering even their food stuff, everything to Lord, and they are enjoying to offering that. And Lord also, their reciprocation of their love and relationship, he is enjoying that.
Okay. You didn't tell us exactly what they're doing. I don't know how they're enjoying. You know, you say they're enjoying. I'd like to know more what they do.
Maharaj, can I try?
Okay.
Like having a loving relationship, reciprocation between Lord and his devotees. Like Lord is also like to serve his devotees, his pure devotees, whereas the pure devotees also like to serve the Lord. So there is a competition between both of them to serve each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't know if the Lord,
Hare Krishna.
how he gets his enjoyment, his eternal enjoyment. And certainly he has that mode. He'll take care of his devotees. That's nice. He'll do that. That's more like a sense of duty, you know, that he feels that you take care of the devotees. But I was thinking more about his pastimes, you know, like how does he enjoy?
Like Gopi's bhav or Gopi's relation with Lord, which is topmost, which is he's enjoying.
So what do they do together?
Rasa dance.
Dance.
Rasa Leela, yeah, Rasa Leela. Right? That's it. This is the Lord's enjoyment. He goes in the forest and he calls the gopis to come and they dance Rasa Leela all night. And the Lord likes to dance Rasa Leela. It's his enjoyment. And during the day, he goes out with the cowherd boys in the fields with the cows. That's his enjoyment. And when he's in Dwarka, he's with the queens.
In Dwarka, he's in royal form. There, he is not in Vrindavan form.
Yeah, different mood, right?
Yes. Vrindavan form, he is dear and near to everyone. And
but still it's for enjoyment. Even when he's in his royal form, there's got to be some pleasure there. He's got to get some enjoyment. So he'll have activities. Of course, he'll go out. He'll go around the kingdom. He'll go and meet the people. He comes to Kurukshetra. Came all the way from Dwarka to Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse, and he met all the people from Vrindavan at that time.
Maharaj, what I was trying to say, like his role in Vrindavan and Dwarka is different. Like when he was in Vrindavan, the way he played with Sudama, same thing he didn't do when Sudama came to meet with him in Dwarka. That time he was a completely different approach. Because in Dwarka, he is more royal. There is a laws like Lord Narayana in the form of that mood.
Yeah, but still it was very sweet. You know, he met with Sudama. He wasn't exactly like Lord Narayan. You know, he got, you know, he received Sudama so nicely. We don't hear about Lord Narayan washing the feet of the Brahmins.
Now, what I was trying to say, not exactly, means in Lord Narayana, he's a diplomatic form of Lord. So similarly, in Dwarka, he is the royal form or the king, that form or that Leela he has performed. Not like same Leela what he has done in Vrindavan.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, we know. There's a difference. The Lord of Dwarka is different from the Lord of Vrindavan.
Right.
The Vrindavan mood is more Madhurya, whereas the Dwarka mood is more Aishwarya.
Yeah.
But still, there's enjoyment. It's just a different kind of enjoyment. The Lord enjoys the opulence. He enjoys the opulence. His palace is there in Dwarka. He enjoys the opulence of having so many queens. He enjoys the family. He's a person. So the Lord likes to enjoy, and He likes to enjoy in an unlimited manner. Our enjoyment is very limited, very small. We're very small compared to Him. But the same mood is there. We also like to enjoy. But we're trying to enjoy in material life, right? In the wrong place. We're trying to find pleasure in the wrong ways. We're trying to enjoy our eating and sleeping, mating and defending. We're not, you know, but the real pleasure is there in serving Krishna.
Can we put this way, Maharaj? Our enjoyment is sense gratification and is spiritual.
Yeah. That's it. It's all sense gratification, exactly. But yeah, there's different levels of sense gratification. There's spiritual sense gratification and there's material sense gratification.
Correct.
Right? So we get spiritual sense gratification in devotional service.
True.
We eat prasadam. There's a lot of pleasure in taking prasadam, having kirtan.
Yes, chanting and dancing.
Dressing the deities. You know, there's a lot of pleasure in that. You can see devotees get so much satisfaction. Even if you're just making the vases, you make the flower vases. I used to make the flower vases, and I was so attached to making the flower vases to go on the altar every day. It's you know, you get this. It's the satisfaction, the pleasure of serving the Lord. So Krishna enjoys with all of his associates. There's no trace of material qualities. That platform is called Nirguna. It's not material. A Nirguna platform, Prabhupada said, never a clash over the object of enjoyment. In the material world, there's so many things with the clash of enjoyment. How to enjoy, do this, do that. Somebody wants to go to cinema, somebody wants to go and eat, somebody wants to go picnic, somebody wants to go to the beach. No, different things. But on the spiritual platform, there's no clash. Material world is always a clash, different individuals. The center of enjoyment is missed. The real center got to be the Supreme Lord, right? And then Prabhupada talks about the rasa dance. We're all meant to join him, enjoy life with one transcendental interest. So that is spiritual interest.
In this stage, I need some guidance from you. Am I allowed to seek for your guidance?
Yes, you can try.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, this is my own personal, you can say, satisfaction. I don't know whether I'm right or I'm going in wrong direction. Because I like to always cook and serve prasad to the people, not necessary for the only devotee, even devotee and plus the people who derive from the facilities. I like to go to them and they serve them prasad, and I feel very happiness, or deep in my heart, I feel very happy that when I can do that. Like cook myself, take it and distribute the prasad to them and let them to see happy because they do not have a facilities to get all those. So is this a kind of, am I engaging myself like sense gratification is kind of, or is there really spiritual activities?
Well, if the food is offered to Krishna,
Certainly.
And then ideally, when we serve prasadam, we want to also chant the holy name of Krishna. See, like here in Mayapur, Prabhupada said he didn't want the people taking the food home because he said if they take the food home, they'll mix it with fish. So he said that's not good. If you give people prasadam and they take it and mix it with fish or with meat, it's not good.
No, that will not be there. That I'm sure. I'm aware. They will not going to do that. Yeah.
So when you see the best way to give prasadam is that you give it along with the chanting of the holy name. You can have also the Hare Krishna mantra playing the time when you're giving out prasadam. It's nice, let people know. Okay, we'll go ahead. Let's see, somebody else can read for us. Madaji, we got some Madaji to read for us here. What about Dipriya Gandharvika?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
A godless civilization arises from illusion, and the result of such a civilization is lamentation. A godless civilization, such as that sponsored by the modern politicians, is always full of anxieties because it may be crushed at any moment. That is the law of nature. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7.14, no one but those who surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord can surpass the stringent laws of nature. Thus, if we wish to get rid of all sorts of illusion and anxiety and create unity out of all diverse interests, we must bring God into all our activities.
Okay. So the godless civilization. Again, Prabhupada bringing up the politicians. So much anxieties. Of course, now the whole planet is we're always in anxiety now with the COVID-19, so much anxiety. So material world is like that. It's a place of anxiety, right? The spiritual world means no anxiety, Vaikuntha. But the material world by nature is full of anxiety. So Prabhupada's solution is surrender to Krishna. And he quote 714, by surrendering to Krishna, you get rid of all the illusion and anxiety. So we bring God into all of our activities, right? You're going to do charity, do it in God consciousness. You're going to work in God consciousness. Eating, sleeping, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, where does Krishna mention about this? Doing everything in God consciousness? You know the verse? Krishna says, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you Right, yes, this is bring God consciousness into all of our activities, right? This is important. Okay, let's have another person read here. Shreya Parvati Mataji. Is she here?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes. Can read for us?
Yeah. The results of our activities must be used to serve the interest of the Lord and not for any other purpose. Only by serving the Lord's interest can we perceive the Atma Bhuta interest mentioned herein. The Atma Bhuta interest mentioned in this mantra and the Brahma Bhuta interest mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 18.54 are one and the same. The Supreme Atma or soul is the Lord Himself, and the minute Atma is the living entity. The Supreme Atma or Paramatma alone maintains all the individual minute beings, for the Supreme Lord wants to derive pleasure out of their affection. The Father extends Himself through His children and maintains them in order to derive pleasure. If the children obey the Father's will, family affairs will run smoothly with one interest and a pleasing atmosphere. The same situation is transcendentally arranged in the absolute family of the Parabrahman, the Supreme Spirit.
Okay, so Prabhupada always giving these different examples in the course of presenting the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So here he speaks about the family life. He said if the children are obedient to the father, then he says one interest, a pleasing atmosphere. And so the same situation is there with Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Brahman and we're the tiny parts of the Brahman. We have this relationship with the Lord. And Prabhupada said, no difference, Brahma Buddha and Atma Buddha. The same thing. Atma Buddha interest and Brahma Buddha interest. The interest is the service of the Supreme, or to come to that platform, detached from the material. So the Father, the Lord, and the living entities, like the children. Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll have another, let's see some. Sarvapati Ramachandra. Surapati Ramachandra. Is he here? Surapati Ramachandra Prabhu? No?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, you're there. Okay. Parabrahman.
The Parabrahman is a person as the individual entities. Neither the Lord nor the living entities are impersonal. Such transcendental personalities are full of transcendental bliss. Knowledge, transcendental bliss, knowledge, and the life eternal. This is the real position of spiritual existence. And as soon as one is fully cognizant of this transcendental position, he at once surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna. But such a Mahatma or great soul is very rarely seen because such transcendental realization is achieved only after many births. Once it is attained, however, there is no longer any illusion or lamentation or the miseries of material existence or birth and death, which are all experienced in our personal life. That is the information we get from this mantra as Sri Isopanisad.
Okay. So what do we need to do to come to this platform? No more birth and death. What's the qualification? No longer any illusion or lamentation. What do we have to do? Hare Krishna.
We have to surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, we have to surrender, take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah. We have to become Mahatmas, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
What's a Mahatma mean? Why is he a great soul? Why would he be a great soul?
Because it's achieved only after many births.
Yeah, not many people can surrender, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Do you know the verse in the Bhagavad Gita Prabhupada's talking about here?
Bahunam janmanavante jnanavanmang prapadante. Vasudevam sarvamiti samatma.
Okay, after many births and deaths, one who is actually in knowledge surrenders to me. Such a soul, such a great soul, very rare. So, do you make advancement quickly in this way? Is this making rapid advancement?
What is this correct? We are fully cognizant for this transcendental position.
The indication is you make advancement very slowly by cultivating knowledge. Because Lord Krishna says after many, or Prabhupada writes, after many births, right? After many births. So it's not a quick process. That's the point. You're just going to cultivate knowledge. It's going to take a very long time. So that's one point which comes here in this paragraph here, that by knowledge alone will take a long time. But we should know the Lord is personal, just as we are personal. Transcendental personalities are full of transcendental bliss. Just as the Lord is full of bliss and knowledge eternally, the living entities are also meant to be like that. We have to come to that platform. This is the real position of spiritual existence. We should feel very joyful and blissful in Krishna consciousness. When we are fully aware of our transcendental position, we'll feel joyful and we'll be happy to surrender to Krishna. It's not that, oh, I have to surrender, oh, you know, and you lament. No, but joyfully we come and want to surrender to Krishna. We feel very happy to be engaged in Krishna's service. So this is the position of the advanced devotees, right? That they can recognize their spiritual nature. They understand their spiritual nature. So they're free from hankering and lamenting. And there's a sense that there is no anxiety, no fear. Right? When devotee asks Prabhupada, what do you feel when you chant Hare Krishna? Srila Prabhupada said, I feel no fear. That's very important. That's the transcendental platform. You're detached from the material world, detached from the material body. No fear. Material world, everybody's in fear. Why? Because we're thinking about the body. We know our body's temporary. So we have a lot of fear. We have to understand our spiritual nature. That service to Krishna will go on eternally. Krishna consciousness is something eternal. Never ends, right? When we serve Krishna here, we'll go on and serve Krishna in the future, the next life, birth after birth. Even if we stay in the material world, we can go on serving Krishna. It's not that we have to go back to the spiritual world. wherever we go, can serve Krishna. So a devotee wants that consciousness. Keep me engaged in Krishna service. So what was it? This ekadvam anupashataha. Do you know the meaning, Mataji? Bindiya? Do you remember the meaning? Ekadvam anupashataha. Ekadvam means what?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, oneness Maharaj.
Oneness, right? So in what sense is there oneness in Krishna consciousness? Where's the oneness?
Seeing the Lord in all the living entities. Seeing as a part and parcel of the Lord Brahman.
Okay.
Quality.
Yeah. But in quality, oneness. In quantity, different.
Yeah. So what? And we have the sense of oneness is there in the sense that we're spiritual, right?
Yes.
And another point in which we can also think of oneness. We have oneness with something in common with Krishna.
The enjoyment?
Yes, okay. Krishna likes to enjoy. We also like to enjoy. And also Krishna, the interest. Krishna, the Prabhupada talked about the family interest. In the family, right? The father and all the family members, they have the same interest. Their interest is the family. Right? They're thinking our family. Just like Prabhupada said, even on a national level, we're thinking our country, our country, my country, our country. And so that this interest, a common interest. So we have to have also the same interest as Krishna. And Krishna's interest, well, he comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Why did Lord Chaitanya come?
Lord Chaitanya actually came for two vital reasons. One is external and internal. External reason also there are three. Internal reason also there are three. Could I elaborate, Maharaj?
Well, I wasn't asking you. I was talking to somebody else.
I'm sorry. My apologies, Maharaj.
Yeah, you got to let other people also give them a chance,
Sorry.
Of course, you're right. Everything you say is okay, but we have to try to open up the forum. All right. Anyway, Lord Chaitanya comes to give everybody the holy name. He wants everyone to chant the holy name. Lord Krishna also talks about who is very dear to him. How do you become dear to Krishna?
One who preaches about his...
Yes, right. Yeah, one who preaches. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, one who teaches this message, this knowledge of devotional service is very dear to me. So that's the way in which we can become dear to Krishna. So the interests of Krishna, we recognize Krishna's interests. The sense of oneness is there. So ekadvam anupashyata. Ekadvam is oneness, and anupashyata means
seeing the acharyas and following them in their footsteps.
Right. Seeing everything through the mood of the acharyas, follow them. Right. Okay. So have we got any questions remaining here? Is there any question before we finish?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have one question.
Yes, Prabhu.
See, in the previous two paragraphs before, Prabhupada talks about this Nirguna platform. Nirguna platform, there is no object of enjoyment. He says that in that paragraph. So when there is no object of enjoyment, there is no subject also. There is no enjoyer, there is no enjoyed. That is what that Nirguna platform works. But why does he include that here in this paragraph? What does he mean by that?
Oh, let me go to this now. I'll have to, I want to see it for myself first. Where he's speaking about Nirguna.
Before. There is no apart from the material.
Huh?
The previous paragraph, I think.
On that platform, there is no trace of material qualities.
Yeah.
Huh?
This is same paragraph. On the
That
Nirguna platform here, it is there. It is there. On the
Where-
Nirguna platform, there is never a clash over the object of enjoyment. Yeah.
But I didn't see that, what you said. What you said, there's no, how did you say?
There is no object of enjoyment. That's what he means, isn't it? On the Nirguna platform, there is never a clash over the object of enjoyment. That means that there is no object for enjoyment.
No, it doesn't mean that. There's never a clash over the object of enjoyment. There must be an object of enjoyment. But the point Prabhupada is saying, in material world, they will have different objects of enjoyment. But the devotees have the one object of enjoyment. Not that there's there must be an object of enjoyment, but they have the common object of enjoyment. They have the common interest. Right? We're talking about the common interest, one interest. The one object of enjoyment is common, so there's no clash. But the clash is there when you have different objects of enjoyment. Somebody wants to enjoy one way, somebody wants to enjoy another. So the point is to put Krishna there in the center. Then there's no clash. So object of enjoyment has to be there.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, any other question there? Otherwise, we'll just finish here tonight. We're on time. Okay, thank you very much. So I'll meet you on Friday. We'll continue.
His Holiness Bhakti Vignavinach Narsimha Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hey. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.